Runner fans, the King of Elite Runners, Elite Godson, is here for a new type of video. I'm gonna take a break on Pixelgun 3D videos and instead do my Minecraft game build creations I made. This one is referencing to Epic Mickey. So anyways, I'm gonna start off with my developer commentary, number 1, level 1-1, Dark Beauty Castle. Dark Beauty Castle is more of your tutorial gameplay, showing you how to play. Dark Beauty Castle references Sleepy Beauty's castle in Disney World or Disneyland. In the game, you start facing off against the Mad Doctor's mechanical rust bucket of bolts, aka the mechanical Swiss Army knife, and be given a quest. The quest I had to do is, there's 3 options. You have either the quest added, which is your active one, your quest updated, which is the same thing as your active one, but still continuing through, and the last one is quest failed, for when you failed the quest entirely, or expired when you're still doing the quest entirely. There's a total of 140 in there, but I had to minimize more of them down, so it was like a total of 115 or 125. But I had the one start perfectly for this actual concept for the quest entirely. That fits my liking for easy command block builds, but the other ones I'll probably do later on, but I need more ideas of that stuff anyway. I did not add the mechanical Swiss Army knife to the game due to redstone animation ideas, so I had to discard that tutorial boss. Another redstone animation I also had to discard is the scoring level cutscene. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. When you first start a file selection and are shown a cutscene strapped into a table, where the Mad Doctor is trying to do a whole lot of stuff to you entirely, which is trying to get the heart in this one, which I'll explain later on in the development from either like more when I explain about it anyway. So that example I had to scrap out entirely during the gameplay from Dark Beauty Castle. I made collectible pin locations to show where they are, but I'm not telling you guys where they're at, so you have to figure it out by yourselves, because it's more like a test your luck skill anyway. One scrap collectible pin I had to remove was the random pin name, aka like the special pins, because I know the ones I'm going to keep, which are the bronze, silver, and gold pins, but there are special pins which are just named Dark Beauty Castle pin. I'm not going to do that, unfortunately. The next tutorial, after you complete the Swiss Army knife and move into the courtyard, is showing you how to attack and defend, which is another scrapped redstone mechanic in the game. In the actual game itself, in the Wii version, Mickey uses a brush for spin attacks to stun and spray paint to befriend or thinner to defeat them for the Blondlings themselves. There's no simple command block for it. It's actually more like a Java thing, but this one right here I'm showing you guys is more like a Bedrock tutorial right here anyway. I mean, not like a Bedrock tutorial, more like a Bedrock gameplay for this one. So I had to scrap the idea of befriending the enemies. I only had to make players defeat them to gain money. And money is the actual currency in the game. The only way to obtain them is by defeating enemies. In the game, they're called e-tickets, but I just call them money anyway because there's going to be too much more command block ideas anyway. The e-tickets have 4 different types of currency. Red is worth 1, white is worth 10, green is worth 30, and gold is worth 100. The golden ticket has like a photo of Oswald, but not Mickey itself. I scrapped the idea of putting decoration like chests, barrels, and bushes in all the levels, hub worlds, and boss battles because it will be a mess of command blocks to reset. But I had to scrap the e-ticket idea and only just have like mobs drop cash for you, like when you defeat the mob itself, aka the Blondlings. They'll drop their loot, and then you just gain more money. Like for example, a zombie. It'll drop like rotten flesh, carrots, potatoes, iron ingot. It depends on what they are, but it's like super rare on the drop anyway, so if you get like a super rare drop, you'll gain more money for it. But if it's more like a common thing, like for example, if you get like 1 rotten flesh, it's worth 1. If you get 2, it's worth 2. 3 is worth 3. 4 is worth 4. And 5 is worth 5. For the carrots and potatoes, they're a little bit more little rare, so I did like potatoes 10, and carrots is 15, and iron ingot is 20. So like there, for example, was how you get money in the actual game itself. For a fantastic redstone mechanic and command work, I did armor protection. I recommend the actual enchantments to players, which are protection, unbreaking, mending, and sharpness. I even made a unique command block trick, placing specific blocks on where they go and what items to break. You'll get a special pickaxe with it, but don't forget, you had to look through the actual pickaxe itself and see what you actually need to break. For example, it can break glass, blackstone polished brick wall, and mob spawner. So right there, for example, is what the items you have to break. So you have to keep looking around and see which ones that can actually break itself. The introduction of the tutorial level is gremlins. So you can kind of see in that little, almost like to the exit gate on that little tiny little capsule inside is where the gremlin is at. There were some scrapped issues for them anyway. I had like too many website mods because I decided to do villagers in this one to make them more custom gremlins for training and special rewards and whatnot. But my friend stopped by and had a fantastic idea for me, and she told me saying about why not use NPCs instead. The NPCs, I did not even know they existed in a game, so I decided to do that idea anyway. These NPCs are super helpful and make command blocks much easier for gremlin trading and rewards. There's a total of 30 cage gremlins. I thought it was 33, but excluding the ones from like level 1-2, Mean Street, and Oztown as well too. So those entire 3 do not count in this one. Suppose you're curious about your progress and your HP and whatnot for your hunger and durability for tools. Don't worry, I did add helpful command blocks for those for you guys. When you die from the thinner pool, void, or enemy, you'll not spawn right back to the very beginning of level 1-1. I did add checkpoints to specific areas in case if they were impossible to get by. But if you did pass it once and feel like you're not going to make it again, down over on the right hand side, you'll see a pressure plate with a little blue outline around it is a diamond block which has a spawn point on it. So it made it more useful for you guys. For the durability of your armor and tools, I added experience spots for mending your stuff. So you'll probably see a whole bunch of experienced little orbs around the area to make it more helpful and useful for you guys. You'll see them with a whole bunch of like a quartz block on the bottom and just experience orbs popping up above, like popping off the ground from the quartz block. Second to last is your health. I set in regeneration spots to regen your HP. You'll see a pressure plate with a red outline detecting that it's a regeneration spot. In the actual game itself, you don't regain your HP back to total capacity because when you break a barrel or a chest or whatever, you get like tiny little health points in it to like regain some of your health. But in the actual game itself, it does not regen your health entirely like what it shows in Minecraft in general. So I had to turn off natural regeneration to be exactly like what it is in the game. So if you guys are low on HP, don't forget you will have regeneration spots in case you're low on HP to regen your health. So make it more helpful and easy for you guys. And when you do actually complete the tutorial level, you go into Mean Street, and over there will be a actual health upgrade shop, which will upgrade your health and whatnot and your capacity. So make it more helpful for you guys. So like for example, you'll gain a little bit of 8 health if you buy the first one. Because at the start you get like 20, but after you first upgrade, when you first get the actual health upgrade for level 1, you get like 25, and then number 2 will be like 35, and then 3 is like 45, and then number 4 is 50, 5 is 75, and then the last one is 100. Last Your Hunger, I did set the difficulty to easy mode due to hostile mob precautions because when I set it to like either normal or hard, when the actual mobs are summoned in, they summon in with actual armor, which I do not want it to be. So I added like specific type of things to it. I switched off mob spawning and mob griefing due to significant precautions. But back to the hunger issue for you guys, I did add a saturation effect for not replenishing your hunger bar when you need food, which is most super helpful. But like I said about the actual mobs themselves, if I set it to normal or hard for you guys, they'll spawn in like a specific type of armors, which I do not want because I personally made the actual armors wear specific for each specific type of mobs. Like for example, leather armor is for World of Gremlins. The chain ones for Tomorrow City. Ventureland is for the gold area for like pirates. Lonesome Manor, aka Bog Easy, is for diamonds and whatnot because you're living in this type of like mansion, which is for like millionaires. And Netherite itself is for more like the royal, like for the royal king himself back in Dark Beauty Castle. Finally, are the projector screen minigames. I'm not going to develop a commentary about these ones because it's going to be super like it'll be like super short, and the only downside is that there's gonna be a whole lot of references, so I'm definitely gonna get a whole lot of copyright strikes for that stuff anyway, so I'm not gonna do developer commentary on that stuff. Because if I do that, then you guys are gonna see where the actual film reels are located, and it's not gonna be fun at all. But there's a total of 36 film reels in this one, but you only get a maximum of 34 in that one because there's 2 levels that have 2 projector screens in this actual same game. I mean, in the same level, so I had to pick one or the other. But unfortunately, you only do a maximum of 34 instead of 36. But you had to do a minimum of 3 playthroughs to get the other 2 to make it more helpful anyway. And you'll get the cartoon buff pin and the actual game on the Wii version. But anyways, that will conclude level 1-1 of Dark Beauty Castle for my developer commentary number 1. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, Line Strike.